Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar presentation of the Master in Strategic Management for Global Business offered by ALTIS, which is the Graduate School of Sustainable Management of the Università Cattolica. So my name is Anna, and I am the program coordinator of this master. Before we start, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. And of course, a special thanks goes to our guest speaker, Professor Pedrini, Professor Serrao, and Professor Pedrini is a full professor of corporate strategy at Università Cattolica, and he is also the scientific director of this educational program. Stefano Serrao teaches sales strategies and sales operation in this master's program, and Chiara Roni is a senior training specialist at Yves Rocher, one of the master's partner for the current edition, and I believe that does not require any introduction. So let me just explain you what you can expect today. Professor Pedrini will guide us through this master's program, showing us its structure, its contents, and its main features. And then we will go deeper into one of the main activities of the master, the lab of practice, and we will hear about the lab of practice in the sales strategy module with Yves Rocher. And afterwards, at the end of this meeting, I will briefly illustrate you some practical information, basically related to the enrollment. And after that, we will be happy to answer each questions you may have. So please feel free to post any question at any time during the presentation on the chat of the meeting. This way we can collect them and answer them at the end of the presentation. So with that being said, I will give the floor to Professor Pedrini. Thank you, Matteo.
Okay, thank you. First, if someone can share with me the control of the slides, okay, thank you. So welcome. This evening is a chance for you and for us to present the Master in Strategic Management for Global Business. This is a master, and we will go in detail about this master in a few minutes. But before starting to explain you the master, I believe that we have to start to understand the kind of organization that is offering this master. And the organization is ALTIS. That is one of the organizational unit of the graduate school that we have in our university. Our university is Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore is a very well-known private university. It is the biggest private university that we have in Europe. It was founded more than 100 years ago, and we have different campuses, okay? But in this case, for the Master in Strategic Management for Global Business, the campus is the Milan campus. In our university, we have more than 12 faculties and more than 42,000 students. And we have 8 graduate schools, so schools that are focusing on specific issues, a specific topic. And ALTIS, the organization that is offering this master, is one of the 8 schools, graduate schools that we have in our university. So if we can go to the next slide, because I see that I don't have the control, please. I don't know if I can or not. Maybe I can, okay, no. So what about ALTIS? ALTIS is the graduate school that we have in our university that is focused on sustainability, so on social and environmental issues, and the connection between company and society and the environment. As a claim, as a mission, we try to force entrepreneurship and management that is aiming at promoting what is this called responsible approach of business. So a way of creating value for shareholders and stakeholders at the same time. This school was founded 17 years ago, so it's a long journey for us in sustainability and in management. We have about 30 masters, MBA courses and so on. And we have 70 masters that are abroad right now, but the master that you are focusing on and the master on strategic management for global business is not abroad, is in Milan, as I told you. We have 3 affiliate faculties, so all the faculties that are related to management in our university. And we have a strong network of companies online, but we will go in depth on the network that we have for you available for this master. Now you can see a plethora of logos of our partnership, of our partners that are from the Italian partners that we have related to sustainability until the partners that we have abroad on European level, and the kind of worldwide initiatives that we join for education. Next slides, please. What is one of the peculiar features, peculiar elements that make ALTIS different from a lot of other schools is the kind of virtuous cycle that we have between amongst our research, consulting activities, and education. What does it mean? It means that we are developing our own knowledge thanks to research. This kind of knowledge is shared with companies on one side, thanks to consultancy initiatives, and in classes in our programs, thanks to our education. But also means that thanks to our consultancy initiatives, we have companies that come and are not just consulting, but thanks to research and consulting activities that we have companies that join us in an educational program. So we have typically partners, corporate partners for every single program. And next slides, please. Here you can see that what are our main kind of point of strengths. I want to stress different elements, okay? As you can see here, we have network that are national and international, but what is interesting from your side is that our school is itself entrepreneurial. It is something that is generating new things. Downstairs, you can see 3 different logos of 3 association companies, foundation that we have generated over the year. Starting from the left, ALTIS Advisory is the youngest company that we have, is a benefit corporation that is aimed at offering consultancy services on sustainability to companies. And for this reason, this is very important that it's part of our ecosystem, because give us the chance to have constant contacts with companies and have skills from business set, skills from managers that magically comes in our classes. We have E4Impact Foundation. That is a foundation that is offering masters in Africa for social entrepreneurs in Africa, but not just master. Now we have incubators, business incubators. We have a set of initiatives that are boosting entrepreneurship in Africa. And we have Sustainability Makers. In this case, it's a very national association because it's the National Association of the Manager of Sustainability. It means that we have an association of professionals, but they are representative of firms, of companies. I am the director of Sustainability Makers, and it means that from your perspective, we have luckily access to a broad set of companies that are not offering just specialized services related to sustainability, but they are embedding sustainability so in their business model. So we have different companies from different industries that are facing this challenge thanks to their professions. Let's go ahead. Not to be boring, but this is a perspective of the kind of international exposure we have as a school. Again, you can see we have connection with other institutions starting from US until India. Okay, so we are covering the planisphere. Next slides, please. But okay, let's go in depth about the master. Okay, the kind of program that if you are here, you are interested to understand better. This master is called Strategic Management for Global Business. So let's try to understand what does it mean, okay? Because the title could be interesting, but understanding the meaning of this title would be more interesting, okay? As you can see, one of the main words that we have is strategic management. So what does it mean? It means that the perspective that you will have in this master will be the strategic perspective. So it means that we want to offer you a 360 degrees perspective of a company. So like an helicopter view of different aspects of a company, not just offering you a perspective of and skills and develop your skills on a unique specific function of the company, but we want you to have a broad perspective. So connecting dots, functions inside functional organizational unit geographies inside one company. The second big word that we, sorry. The second big word that we have is management. Management means manage, means make things happen. We want you to understand, having an overview of the company, but we want also you to have the skills, competencies to make things happen. So this is a matter of project management, of capacity to lead other, and in the early stage of your career, follow others, but basically transform what is on a paper, that typically is something that you can do with strategy, on something that is happening in companies. So what we call execution. We have, let's move a little bit on the bottom of this slide. Global business. What does it mean, global? It means that this is not a master that teach you how to go abroad. This is a master that is designed thinking about business as one element in a global world. So it's not a master in which we teach you, okay, it's better if you open a franchise, it's better if you open direct investment in one country. We will do that, okay, because we have special contents in corporate strategy course, for instance, on that, but we want to teach and we think about companies as a global player. So it's something that is embedded in all the courses. And let's move to the third one right now. So we focus on strategic management, global business. And now what is peculiar is not in the title, but is peculiar of this master. We want to help you to develop your entrepreneurial attitude and mindset. What does it mean? We will stress you, okay, we will force you to be as proactive as possible. So be able to drive and contribute to the change of companies on one side, but caring about the social impact. Because if you remember the first claim, we want to train responsible business. We want to train responsible managers. We want to train responsible entrepreneurs. So having a special attention to the social impact. Next slide, please, right now. Okay, thank you. What about the numbers of this master? Just to give you some maybe number that can give you the idea of the story of this master. We got 15 editions, so this is not the first edition, so it's a long-lasting master. Means that it's a long-lasting master, but not we didn't have two editions that were the same, exactly the same. Okay, so we are improving this master, but it's a long-lasting master, and you can see it's very international because we got in our classes more than 70 nationalities and more than 300 students. Very important. You can see it's a master that is aiming to young, fresh people. The average of the age of our students is 24.5 years old, and the average of work experience is less than 2 years. But, or then, interesting numbers are the fact that 90% of our students work within, find a job within 6 months from the graduation, but 75% within 3 months. Okay, so this doesn't mean that we are employment company, but it means that the kind of skills that we will provide to you during your participation in this program are right now in line with the expectation of the market. Okay. Then, as you can understand, and maybe you are familiar with, the job market is changing a lot in the last year. So maybe this number will be higher for this edition, but not because we are better than the last year, but because the business market right now is very, very, very fresh, very, very dynamic. Okay, so but on average, this is the numbers that we have with this master. Let's go ahead, please. What about the structure? The structure is designed to help you to take the best from your stay in Milan, and is designed to try to give an answer to those that are coming from different backgrounds, different than management, to have the chance to take this master. What does it mean? It means that the first part of the master is online with free, let's say, basic courses, free courses that help you to develop the basic knowledge you need to take the best from the master and to be successful in the master. These are online, but these are courses, so it means that we will assess your knowledge with an exam. When you will arrive in Milan, okay, we will assess you. Then we start with our classes from November to May. Okay, this is very important because we ask you to stay in Milan from November to May, and the kind of commitment you need to have to this master is a full-time commitment. It means that attending the master, participating to the lessons, participating means be present, okay, not just the physics and brain, okay, be there, focus on the lesson, is the kind of job that you will have, okay? So from November to May, you must be focused on the master. Then from June to September, this is the time of the what we call action project. I will go on that later, okay? But basically, we have again some course that is online. But why online? Because this is the time in which you start to have, if you want, your first experience with an internship or with a field project or with a research project we will see later with companies. And then we have the final graduation that typically is in October. It means that you have take all the courses, you got exam, you have your experience in a company, and then finally you have your master. Could we go ahead, please? Just one slide more. Okay, this it seems complex, okay? This complex picture is the picture of the structure of the master. You can see that we basically want to stress the fact that we want you to develop competencies in understanding things, be able to have a synthesis and design the future, so strategizing things. We want you to be able to execute things and then evaluating things, okay? This from the company perspective. So at the end of this master, we are supposed to know how to analyze things that are happening inside the company, how to design the future of the company, how is possible to execute this future, and how to measure results that you have. Downstairs, okay, you can see also that we are pushing your entrepreneurial attitude, as I told you at the beginning, and we have a gray zone that I will explain in 2 minutes. But I want to stress two things. First, that you can see that in the middle we have the so-called level of practice. We will go in depth about what does it mean level of practice, but it means that we have 4 courses that are managed together with companies, okay, in partnership with specific companies. And companies are available to work with us, but more than companies, we must be very grateful to managers that are committed to work with our students, okay? And they provide tasks to our students. Students work for this company. They usually present something to the company and the company give feedbacks, okay? So what does it mean? It means that we want to have you to practice things, to have an end-on approach. So try to not just study, but also to try to do things. We have these labs, but we have managers, individual projects in all the courses. So we have guests, but we ask you to develop projects. We ask you to work with your colleagues with the project work, and we have in some specific course also companies that work with us. If you have a look on the top, you can see that there is a coding and analytics course that is managed with SAS Institute. So we have on board one of the major players in data analysis that we have right now worldwide. But this is everything around competencies, knowledge and competencies. But as we know how much is sometimes difficult to have an understanding of point of strengths, point of weakness that we have, the kind of career we want to have, etc., we are also supporting personal development of our students. What does it mean, personal development? It means that we will provide you traditional supporting services. Traditional supporting services means that we will provide you support to develop your CV, your cover letter. We will give you advice, but more. We will help you in having speedy speech. What does it mean? Simulation of interviews with companies, and we have on board in all this program GI Group or GI Group. Okay, is an Italian-based multinational company that is quite famous in lab markets. Okay, so we have experts that will help you. We will help you working on your personal branding on social network. The main social network for business setting is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn will work with us as a partner, will help you to take the best. But also we have mentor activities for those that are thinking about an entrepreneurial career. In this case, we have on one side CommonX, that is an incubator that is very well-known incubator here in Italy, but what is very interesting that is not far away from Milan. Okay, it's in Lomazzo. They are very focused on technology issues, and so they can provide us support. But we have also Ashoka, that is a quite famous foundation that supports such entrepreneurs. So we have these two partners that will help if you have some kind of entrepreneurial attitude. But this is not in the slides because it's part of the personal career development, but is not written in here. Is a mistake. But we will also we will help you working on your perception of yourself, working on understanding who you are and who you want to be with a psychologist, okay, helping you to understand which kind of career is the best career for you. Okay, this is a support that we will provide you. We will have a specific method that comes from psychology, that is the method of anchors. But this is an additional service that we will offer. It's not mandatory, okay, but we kindly recommend it because it's a very, very useful work on yourself and to have some kind of better understanding of your potential impact that you can have on the business, and the kind of understanding of the best place in which you can have the ambition to work in. Next slide, please. This is the list of the partners that we have. Basically, these logos were in the previous slide, okay? And these are the partners that we have. They have different roles, okay? We have Capgemini, and Dresshauser, Rentokil, and Yves Rocher. Yves Rocher is also a guest that we have here with us, and later we will go in depth about that. These 4 companies are involved in the business labs. We have G Group. Here is missing LinkedIn. We have LinkedIn that is working on personal development, and we have Ashoka, CommonX that are working on entrepreneurship, and SAS Institute that will help you in data analysis. So this is the kind of connection that you have during the master with business. Let's go ahead, please. So just to give you a better understanding of what does it mean, this hand-on approach, I believe that the best way is to have, and we are very lucky that Chiara Roni can be with us this evening together with Stefano Sarao. These are 2 persons that are involved in our program. Chiara Roni, as you can see from the slide, is a senior training specialist in Yves Rocher, and she can tell us a little bit more about what does it mean for Yves Rocher to work in a lab of practice with us. And Stefano Sarao, he's one, I'm proud that Stefano is with us, is one of our faculty member, okay, that typically is very, very appreciated by our students, okay, to be transparent. He is very appreciated, and he is a professor of sales strategy, so he teach you how to approach sales from a strategic perspective. So I very glad that we have with us Chiara and Stefano. So guys, you are very lucky because I can be silent for a couple of minutes. Chiara, I want to leave you the floor. If you can tell us a little bit how is a lab of practice, which kind of commitment you have. So tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yes, thank you. We decided to take part in this master, and specifically in the course of Professor Sarao, because we wanted to reach a specific goal. We wanted to have the student perspective on what does the Yves Rocher Retail 2.0 mean for the Gen Z. So for you who are listening today, and for the students. After the COVID period, the consumer habits have changed a lot. People go in the shop to buy product, but more often they buy product online. And when they go in the shop, they want to live a real experience. They want to live something that the digital cannot offer them. So what they expect is professional advice and technological services. In our shop today, we have this kind of a service, two main services, which is skin diagnosis, which is a skin analysis made through an electronic device, and we have hair diagnosis, which is an analysis of the hair done through a questionnaire. So just with question, we don't have a specific device. And these two services come with an integrated communication, both digital and physical. Thanks to our analytics, we can say that these two services are our success stories. People really appreciate these services, but we would like to go further, to develop them and offer new services to our customers. So the students who participated in this course were asked to study our brand, to live a real experience inside our shops, and to compare us with our competitors. They were also asked to suggest new ideas, to give us feedback, and also make new proposition for new services and how we could improve our actual services, and how we can improve also the communication toward our current customers. The outcome should have been then a PowerPoint presentation or similar with Canva and other instruments you use. So for us, it was giving this precise task was our goal was to collect ideas in order to shape our future decision in the strategy of the brand. And I think that with most of the task covered the goals of the sales strategy seminar, right, Professor Stefano?
Yeah, thank you, Chiara. The field project was the logical extension of the work we did in the classroom. And I'd like to underline two key aspects which I think are very important for our audience today. First, learning by doing is a key feature of this master's program. Far from being a succession of theories and abstractions, the sales strategy module aims to highlight real business situations as experienced by companies on a regular basis. We do this by sharing and dissecting actual business cases and encouraging students to come up with possible solutions and insights. And second, working on real business cases with corporate partners such as you, such as Yves Rocher, is actually a game changer. Cooperation with well-known international groups such as Yves Rocher allows our students to undertake real business-oriented tasks and experience firsthand the issues and pressures of today's sales and marketing. This is also for you, for our partners, a valuable contribution because you can benefit from fresh perspectives from bright young minds, our students, as we saw their ages around 24. So we choose the brightest ones. So that's one of the bonuses for companies like Yves Rocher. But let me ask you, what was the most noteworthy aspect of this effort?
Every group did a great effort and delivered a great project work. For me and Evelina, who is my manager, who also took part in the project, the most striking thing was that without knowing what the other group was doing, each of the 5 groups delivered more or less the same very innovative ideas, but every time adding their own suggestion and value. So in the end, the work of the 5 group was complementary, and the result was really great. Also, most of the students were able to go beyond the task assigned. For example, many of them designed their own questionnaire to submit to possible new Yves Rocher customer, but also to customer who passed in the shop. So people they had just met, and they were able also to collect their own data to give us a feedback. So for us, it has been like being part in a sort of focus group on brand perception with a young target. So we were able to go deeper in the strengths and weaknesses of our brand. And I have to admit that during these past months, we took into consideration their feedback, the feedback of the student when defining the strategy and taking decisions on future projects. And I think that, and this helped us to improve our retail KPIs. And also, I think that this is what would make the students proud of their work, like knowing that we took into consideration their outcome. And you there.
Yeah, well, what I found most meaningful and inspiring is the fact that once you clearly explain the task and provide specific instructions to the students, they can self-organize very effectively without faculty members micromanaging their activity. The key to this is to give clear, well-structured instructions as to the desired goals and provide ongoing support if and when they need it, only if and when they need it. And if you think about this, this is the essence of effective delegation. This is something which is extremely important in the future professional life. And I have to admit, I take no responsibility or actually no credit for the success of the operation, because you and your company explained to them what they wanted. I was available as support, but I never really stepped in and said, no, you got to do this, you got to do it this way or the other way. They just went out and did it. And I'm very proud of the result. And I'm happy to hear that you two are quite satisfied with the outcome.
Thank you. And Professor Pedrini, I read some of the questions that are in the chat. Can I just say something about to answer the question before you give the precise instruction?
You don't have to ask me. You can answer to the question, okay? You are the queen.
No, I attended the Università Cattolica, and I saw that someone asked the specific job position you could apply, and there's a student asking if he can enroll if he has a humanistic background. So I'm not going into the specific task of the course, but as a personal experience, I mean, as for the first question, I think that, yeah, I don't know, at least for me, you never know what your ideal job is. I think that you learn it by doing. And in this course, as you can see from the course description, you have many input, and I think that from these many inputs you can like try to understand what you would like to be. I started my career in Yves Rocher as a CRM assistant. I found out that I hated the CRM, and then I started doing training. So and then as for the humanistic background, I do have an humanistic background. And I think that in an enterprise context, in a company context, this is a plus, because one of the main characteristics you need to have, but you don't study it on the books or at university, is creativity. And I think that having a humanistic background is really important from a strategic point of view, because I think that you have like something more to face also economics.
Okay. I don't know if Stefano wants to add something. Otherwise,
No, I just want to add a very little detail. I too have a humanistic background, and I agree with Chiara. It definitely is a plus if you want to embark on a management career, especially a sales and marketing oriented one. That's really my personal opinion.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your speech and your explanation of lab of practice, because I believe that really you gave us an understanding of what does it mean. And this is a nice example of what I want to stress again, that is a practical master, so that we want you to have practical skills and practice these practical skills. And thanks to the commitment and the kind of responsibility of the companies that are our partner, really we have an added value, and a really big added value in our classes. For this reason, I want to thank you, Chiara, for to be with us, but thank Yves Rocher to be part of this master, because really I know how much value you provide to our students. Okay, this is the connection between the academics field and the business field is a huge, powerful connection. Okay, and when we, as we are doing, we work together, I believe that really the kind of result is always more than expected. So thank you for that. As Chiara start to give an answer to the question, I want to give you my view on that. Okay, because this is a typical question that we have: which kind of position I can apply, and the second one for the background. The kind of position you can apply, this is a master in general management typically. So it means that this is not a master that is aimed to train you to take a position in a specific function of one business, but is training you to take a position in different functions that you can discover also during the master, bringing inside a perspective that is the connection with other elements. This is the reason why I believe that Stefano Sarau told you that this is wonderful to have a position in marketing, because marketing and sales, because you can understand better other aspects of the company, just not the single aspect of marketing. But why not sustainability? Why not operations? Our history is a history of different kind of positions that are covered from our students, depending on the kind of idea they have for their career. So it is not, we don't have a specific unique function that we are training. So we have also people that is working in HR now. Regarding the second question from Ricardo, this is a master that is designed for those that, also for those that don't have a background in management, in business. This is the reason why we have the online courses that make us the chance to have all the participants at a minimum level when we start a lesson in class. Okay, and you can attend the master successfully having a humanistic background, but you must take notes that you will have some course that will be more challenge for you than other. Okay, typically those that are not coming from a business setting, they have to invest more efforts. Okay, more efforts means that it is possible to do that, but ask for an additional effort, additional to the average compared to the average of the class. For instance, accounting. The accounting part is quite demanding. But what is also interesting, this comes from the history of our program. Two things. First, that we are really lucky that we have a professor for accounting that is has the specific skill to make things very simple. Okay, he is very good in explaining things that are complex in a very simple way. But what is very interesting is that you are not alone. We see always students working together. So if you have some kind of weakness in accounting, and you have to climb this mountain of accounting, but it's not a mountain, but our students perceive it as a mountain, you will have some kind of peer-to-peer support from your colleagues that will help you. So we will do our best. We will have additional exercises. We will help you, but also you have a peer-to-peer support. But I don't see any kind of huge, immense barrier for those that are not with a background in management. Okay. So Stefano, thank you also for your support this evening to give us your perspective also.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's go ahead, please. So we try to keep the time. Action projects. If you remember the scheme that I have at the beginning, the final part of the master is the action project. What does it mean? It means that we want you to close your journey with us with a project that is practical, is an action, okay? And this project could be of 3 types, okay? The first type is to have an internship, okay? The internship is largely the major choice of our students. As you can see, more or less the 80–90% of our students are going for the internship. But this action project could be also a business plan. What does it mean? It means that if you want to start your own company, or if you have a family company and you want to jump in the family company, or if you have someone that is providing you the chance to start and to work in a startup, you can have also a business plan. So you can work with a supervision from a professor, developing your own idea of a startup, depending the plan to develop your family company or the company in which you want to start to work. There is the third choice that you can see. We don't have percentage on that, okay? Because it's a, let's say, residual choice, not because it's not interesting, but because just one small part of our students, usually less than the 1% of our students, decide to go for a research paper. So it means that during the master, you understand that you want to follow a career in a research institution or in academic institution. So students start to have a research paper. This is an opportunity that you have that is also a backup sometimes. Okay, this never happened in our plan, but could be a backup if you don't have the internship. If you fail the business plan, you can have the research paper. But until now, in the 15th edition that we got, we have just 3 research paper, but because students decided that they want to have a research paper because the idea of a PhD raised in their minds. Okay. Next slide. And I believe that, please, let's go to the next slide. Maybe it's not working. Okay. So now I leave the floor to Anna, that will give you more details on next steps, more, let's say, practical things that, thanks to Anna, we can manage with you. Okay. Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Matteo, and thank you also, Chiara and Stefano. So, first of all, if you have enjoyed this presentation, then why don't you consider submitting your application? Because applications are still open, and here in the slide you can see all the steps that you will need to take in order to present your application. They are non-binding, and if you submit your application, your document will be evaluated. And if you do meet the admission requirement, you will have the chance to have a meeting with the programs committee in order to see if this master's program is actually a good fit for you. And so during this meeting, we can also discuss some practical issues such as fees and scholarship, but now this is just a quick reminder. The program's fees amounts to 11,000 euros to be paid in 4 installments, and in addition, the master committee will award a scholarship of 3,000 euros to 1 international and 1 Italian talented student based on the evaluation of the application. And we do also offer a 1,500 fee reduction for a student acting as a class tutor which basically means someone who will assist the program coordinator with operational tasks and classroom management. So should you be interested in any of these two options, all you have to do is just click yes to the question about the scholarship in the application form at the moment of in which you present the application. And please note that all international application will be accepted until the 29th of June, while the deadline for Italian students is the 30th of September. And then, should you have any further question related to the enrollment and any practical, issues, please feel free to contact the recruiting team via email or phone using the contacts on the screen. And on your convenience, I'll keep the slide on during the Q&A session, so you will be able to take a picture or note down the contact if you need them. And by the way, you can also find them on our website.
I don't see, if I'm not wrong, any other question. So I believe that all my colleagues are silent, so I can say just thank you to all that took the chance of this moment of, as you can see, open discussion. I want to thanks again Chiara and Stefano to be with us. I want to thank also Anna, because Anna is my angel guard. So thank you, Anna, to be with us. And I hope that we can meet together in class and having wonderful discussion. I will be professor of corporate strategy for this course, so we can have wonderful discussion about M&As, joint venture, and so on that are my contents. Thank you.
Thank you, Matteo. Thank you, Chiara and Stefano,
you.
once
Bye-bye.
more. Bye.
Goodbye now.